I'm Twinnie the Tinker and welcome to my backyard where we'll be making one of these garden bed covers. These are made of 10mm steel and covered in farm grade chook wire. It's good to get the farm grade stuff rather than home grade because it's a lot heavier and it's going to last you a lot longer. So the first thing we're going to do is start with our 3 metre long lengths of 10mm steel. I'm not sure what that is in imperial and I don't actually care. We're going to start by putting off a little bit, probably about 10 centimetres into the vise. This is my old beta vise. It's always good to have a rubbish old vise that you can just leave outside and it gets whaled on and everything else. And then you have a good one for precision work. So take your length, kind of bend it a little bit this way and then hit it with a hammer right next to the vise. Bend there is the very start of the square frame that we're going to be making. We're going to make that with 2 of these pieces, so we'll make 2 that are identical and then we'll weld them together. So we're inside the shed now where I'm welding these things up, and I've got one of my hooks on and I've got the 2 frames connected together to make the square base, rectangular base. So if we come right in close to here, you can see what's going on. I've got the main bit extending through and I'll cut that off there once it's all welded together. I've then got the join with the other half of the frame, and by bending that 90-degree section it gives me a really solid length to join the 2 together. And then the hoop is joined on after that with a just again another 90-degree bend to give me plenty of length of weld. Now with my welds I've actually tried to stop them before I get to the end, just to give it a little bit of extra flex, because with flexibility comes toughness. And it means that these things should be lasting 20 or 30 years at least. Now if anyone's thinking about doing this themselves, it's really easy. There are heaps of cheap inverted welders out there, and the rods I'm using are just some rubbish Azito general purpose things that I happen to have lying around in lockdown that, you know, I think they're 5 years old, these. So if I can do it with these, you can do it with whatever you find around. It's not hard welding. Now the one and only welding tip that I'm going to give in this video is once you've used a stick rod, like this one, you'll end up with the metal inside the coating, which is fine, that's how it's meant to be. But to get a really nice easy restart, I take the rod, just a couple of scrapes on the concrete, and now you've got a nice shiny tip ready to go. It'll do. In terms of getting something actually sitting there before you weld it, positioning it is kind of what that's called. And there's a bunch of different ways to do it. I found zip ties work really well for this, but you can use clamps, or in this case, it sits on the other side alright. So I'm just going to balance it He says that. I'm just going to balance it there on this side because I've got a fairly big thing to balance it on. And just hold it roughly in position and tack it on. This is, I don't know how many times I've said this, but this is not precision work. Haha, success. Right, let's trim those bits off and then we'll start wrapping it in chicken wire. And now I've got 2 garden beds that are fully chook-proofed, ready for the spring planting. I hope that video was useful. If it is, do the like and subscribe and all the rest of it. And I'll catch you on the next one. I'm Twinnie the Tinker. Thanks for watching.